The footage that you're about to see was filmed in 1991 by an alien interrogation program described to you by former pro wrestler turned politician John Stewart. He'll be going over what type of alien being this is, the Congress hearings that are going on right now, as well as the people that you see in the background and who they are. It's all very, very interesting. Take this with a grain of salt. But hey, if you believe in aliens, let me know in the comment sections down below because I am a bit of a skeptic. So let's get into it. And here we go.
So here it is. This is, again, it's silence. There's no audio on this. What are we looking at here as we play this film? What are we seeing on our screen, John?
Okay. Contrary to Victor's voiceover, this is a film shot April of 1991, a thought projection interview of a
thought projection interview, psychic interview.
gray, designated an other gray, an extraterrestrial biological entity. He is a haploid, which means he came with only one sexual chromosome. Human beings are diploids, but this being had only one sexual chromosome. He came to the S2 alpha. They call these interview suites the ambassador suites because the government did try for the care and did treat these and look at these beings and still do as ambassadors from other planets and other dimensions. And if you hear David Grush coughing on his words, it's because he doesn't want to tell you that some of these beings are from other dimensions. And so this being was very ill at the time. He had a respiratory issue. Now, Sean David Morton also heard, I can't verify this veracity, that it's some sort of debilitation or disease with its heart-lung sac. It does not have a traditional heart. It's got a heart-lung one sac, which was the need for the special monitor, which goes up and down, does not go across, to monitor this bizarre heart-lung one sac organ that the alien has. And behind the viewing glass were 5 men, 2 telepaths.
Okay, see, there you go, 2 telepaths. Does this not sound like an Alex Jones conspiracy theory? Interdimensional beings, we're on the drugs and then this and that. Like this, do we have to put another quarter in the Alex Jones was right jar again? Because yeah, this is crazy.
There is a researcher out there, and I don't doubt it. And because I've seen the outline of the figure, that Colin Powell was in that interview room. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I can't verify it, but it certainly looks like the outline of him. It looks like an African-American male in his 50s wearing an Army Class A dress uniform. Funny, the Rear Admiral that was on my list was the person that reported intelligence to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Interesting. But that's how bizarre this film has gotten. And I'm not even going to tell you anything about the telepaths because I don't want it to get into the Da Vinci Code. But even Doty said that the telepathic program, the people they hired, was ridiculous. They were like one step above 1-800 psychics back in the 80s and 90s. But there was 2 men in particular that were very in touch with these beings, and they would sit down with these aliens and these beings and immediately get information and relate it back to whatever military person was in the room. As you can see on the tape, the being eventually starts to medically flag, if I can use the whistleblower Victor's terminology, and he is then attended to by the medical staff. And Victor tells us that the medical staff in S2 and S4, are more chosen for their ability to keep secrets than their medical knowledge. And again,
Yeah, no, that would totally make sense though. If you're running a secret program, you're probably not going to get the best doctors you could find. You're going to get doctors that you're going to make sure that they shut the living fuck up for the sake of not allowing this secret to get out to the public, man. And this alien being has like no lungs or all these respiratory issues. I don't know. Maybe he got COVID. Who knows, right? But yeah, man, this is just insane. Tell me in the comments down below, guys. Like, if you're watching this, you believe in aliens. Like, tell me down below you believe in aliens and you think this is real. And everything that's going on in the Congress hearings right now, like, what's going on with that? What's your opinions? Because I frankly I'm not a dabbler in aliens and stuff like that, so I really want to know your opinions on these things.
And in contact, I have the names of the two doctors that are going to be on either side of this beam. On the bottom, you're going to see DNI/27. That is the Department of Naval Intelligence. According to Richard Doty, there's like a conga line of different agencies waiting to insert their questions to this beam in the 2 hour long interview. The interviews are conducted about once a month.
What did you start to piece together from people who were in the room? And so when we say hoaxed video, I think you're saying that was what the assumption you had going into this, that this was hoax. That was sort of the media speculation about this. Now you've proven and taken it to the United States Congress, which, by the way, they're about to hold a hearing on this next week. And I think that this is, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be a big piece of this. And other whistleblowers are now confirmed to be coming forward to Congress next week, civilian whistleblowers who are going to be testifying of the things that they've been a part of and seen. So talk about the people that you started, the witnesses who were in the room with this creature.
The two medics you will see, folks, on either side of the alien. The doctor on the alien's right, our left, died in California. I call his second wife, his widow. It's kind of hard telling somebody's widow, was your husband involved in alien, autopsies or alien interrogation or anything to do with aliens? She said, for the time that I was married to him, he never, ever spoke about his time in the U.S. Army Medical Corps. I never told her U.S. Army Medical Corps, but that was on the report of what his designation was. And my husband never spoke about his time in the U.S. Army Medical Corps, not even to me. And she said, John, your phone call just completely turns the light bulb on and totally makes sense to me now why my husband never spoke about his time in the U.S. Army.
That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first.
He was able to find these people because he was going on podcasts, telling his story, telling these things of what's going on, etc. And he was able to get in contact with a whistleblower that gave him more and more and more information about what was going on behind the scenes. He spoke to others, and it just grew and grew and grew from there. And remember, he was doing this for years, So once he got the name of both of the doctors that were in the film, he did his research on that. Turns out one of them passed away. Who knows of what, really. But a lot of these people that work for Area 51, et cetera, based off of the information, what I've seen, just stay silent. They're not people that talk about what their job was. If you ask them questions, they'll just completely ignore it. Why is that? Probably because if they ever got found out that they said anything to anybody, them or maybe even their family members would get deleted out of existence by perhaps our U.S. government, man. Who knows? Obviously, with the hearings, we're figuring those things out.
Now I Google the other doctor's name. He's practicing medicine still in Connecticut. And at the time, he worked for the VA in 91, and we see this creature having some sort of respiratory coughing fit. Folks, pay attention to the mouth. It opens and closes instantaneously. At the time of 1991, this creature's having a respiratory problem. This doctor worked for the VA. What did he do and specialize in 1991? He was a pulmonologist. So obviously they brought this man in to S2 Alpha. That's the official designation of the underground facility where the alien retention interrogation program happens, to study this creature that, he's having a respiratory problem. Let's bring in an expert. And then his office just refused to take my calls because I wanted to be honest. I'm working on a documentary, and he must have had some idea what was going on, or was either contacted by someone at the Pentagon. Look, we got a guy. He's going around. He's asking questions, and you might get a phone call. The bombshell, I think, of my entire investigation, the number 27. We found it on a Ronald Reagan briefing about extraterrestrials from 1980. I call back Doty. This is like right out of a movie. Richard, what the hell is the number 27 mean? Doty, not knowing, you know, what I was talking about, said, "Oh, 27 is Yankee white." And he said, "John, that's
Yankee
the
one.
security umbrella classification." Listen to me, folks. For anybody that briefs the president of the United States. So if you're watching that film, you better have the Yankee white security clearance to talk to, which would have been George H. Bush at the time. Now, a person has claimed Colin Powell was in that room. I am telling you that Colin Powell's chief intelligence liaison, Admiral Schaefer, he's the only name I've given up because he's dead. He's died already. He was also in that room, and he responded, and he was direct liaison to the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and I have proof that he was also in the Oval Office. So that is why the designation 27 is on the bottom of that film. Would a production person in a low-level production company or a screenwriter even think to put that on the bottom of the film? I mean, it's just ludicrous. It's just, this thing just proves itself over and over and over again.
I'm curious to know if the president of the United States knows about these alien interrogation programs and whatnot. Like I remember there was an interview with Donald Trump where they asked him like if he believes in aliens, etc. And he said it's something really simple, right? He was just like, "Well, I'm not a believer, but anything's possible," right? So that was one. I remember there was another time they asked Barack Obama, and Barack Obama said something along the lines of the same thing. I don't know if the presidents know about these things. If I really had to guess, it's something that's really top secret, military only, must know only mentality, to the point where maybe not even our presidents know. And if they do, they're sworn to secrecy, right? So who knows on that? Because I figured if you're the president of the United States and you know these beings are a thing, that's just going to change so much of your perspective going forward with your job. Because I couldn't imagine if these things are real. Philosophy is going to be changing all around the board when it comes to people questioning religion and existence in general, you know? So I don't know. It's just kind of mind-boggling of if the president can do his job 100% to the T, if he actually does know about interdimensional beings, as Alex Jones like to call them. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know,
I'm kind of retarded.
let's get back into it.
And so
And if you see the mouth of the bean,
yeah,
every FX person is like, I don't know how that opens. You close up on that film, and you see that mouth going like this. I mean, we've had FX people off camera tell us there's no way in 91. You'd see the metal servo around the mouth as a bulge. This is a slit that's opening and closing. Oh, there's a hand underneath the head of the alien. We have seen it because the flashlight of the medic shines the entire torso of this being. You see the neck is as thin as a wiffle ball bat. How is somebody getting their hand up there? This would have taken $200,000 to $300,000. We know, you know, again, being the journalist, I found the production budget of Rocket Pictures. Production budget meaning having them put this out as a documentary, and then they did their own alien interview as a B-roll.
Well, I kind of figured, like, wasn't E.T. in like 1982? And you know, that alien, I mean, E.T., right? But that alien, I think I remember E.T. moving his mouth and talking pretty well. But at the end of the day, I mean, that is a lot of money and you know, production, I suppose. But I mean, I don't see why somebody can't fake this video in 1991, you know. But
wasn't even a third of that. I know what they were paid. I know what Victor was paid. There was no money. There was no $200,000, $300,000 budget to recreate this being. And why is everyone gaslighting me?
now
right. So his whole argument is this footage was first released in a 1997 documentary called Interview with an Alien or something like that. And it first got shown in 97. Now, the documentary was extremely low budget. Like, they didn't have a whole lot of money. So if it was faked, they would have had to have recreated this scene with the alien, along with like moving its mouth, I guess what he was talking about. In other words, you know, it's not easy to recreate this, especially because the footage has no cuts or anything like that. So that's where his argument's kind of coming in with that.
It's in the hands of the U.S. Congress. You've given it over to Tim Burchett's office, Congressman Tim Burchett's office. This hearing is about to unfold in Washington, D.C. What do you expect will come from that hearing, and how will this film be involved in that in any way?
But I was told that this film was already shown to two congressmen who, quote, hands were shaking, couldn't even put the cup of water to their mouths when they saw this video. Another congressman saw it. He was just made a quote in the newspapers, in the media last week. I don't really think the American people can handle what I've seen. I think there's just gonna be the soft disclosure, as hard as that is to accept. Clayton, I don't. If you think Joe Biden is going to walk out an alien at the National Press Club, it's not. I don't think it's going to happen. The military sees
Bro, that would be epic if Joe Biden came in and just was holding hands with an alien.
the technology they have as the high ground. In the Civil War, it was high hills. In 2023, it's this alien technology. And I want to tell the military something, and I want to look straight in the camera. I understand that. I understand the secrecy and the paranoia, not even knowing what you're really dealing with. I get it. The secret's out. Okay? The secret is out. And people like me are not condemning you. I actually feel sorry for the people that had to keep this secret from their spouses and their friends and taking it to their deathbed. But no one is championing the military on this. And I want to tell the Pentagon, and I say this respectfully. To be honest with you, when I look out in the UFO world, the American people don't trust you. And really, I'm the only friend you got. So, you know, people like me want to help you come out of the closet with the alien phenomenon. Let Congress do what it has to do. Help and assist Congress. I'm asking the Pentagon to do this. We don't need all the secrets. We need to know you lied to us, you covered it up. We will understand why you covered it up and why you lied to us. We need to have a government citizen committee where we just exonerate everybody in the government for the last 80 years of the money laundering, potential murders, that have occurred to keep the secret silent. Folks, there's no other way to have the military or these government contractors, CEOs, come forward than to say, you're not going to jail. We will exonerate you. Tell us what you got. Let the American people in. Stop belittling our loyalty and stop mocking our citizenship.
91 is this.
What do you guys think about that? Like, his solution of getting the full on truth is basically saying, hey, we're just going to do a forgive and forget program here with every single person that was involved of Area 51. Like, since then, I mean, to keep this a secret for so long. And honestly, I don't even think it's that hard of a secret to keep, because you get footage of UFOs and even this footage right here. It's the easiest secret to keep, because you have people saying aliens are real, and then you just say these guys are crazy. You know, they're just crazy conspiracy theorists, and just throw them by the waistband. You know, that's how it's always been. As time has gone on, we've realized how much we've been lied to by our government and our media. And I think this is why people are a lot more open-minded to say, wow, well, if you lied to me about X and Y and Z, what else have you lied to me about, right? So because of so much of the lies of the media and our politicians, etc., I think people have gotten tired of that, and I think people are a lot more open-minded nowadays to see what the truth is, right? This is why we're a lot more open-minded just to hear this guy out and see what evidence he has to present in order to really start a conversation about this.
The interview with this creature, with this alien entity. What happened? Do we know reportedly what happened to this alien?
Yes, it was funny. Victor brought this film out a year after he retired. So I thought so he was, trying to clear himself. Very smart. And Victor tells us that the creature died shortly after this interview. And where is the body? We have been told that bodies are being stored at Wright Pat, Homestead, and Sandia Labs, which is inside the the Dugway Proving Grounds base. And, you know, I mean, how many times do you have to examine these beings? I mean, this has been since the 40s that we've been looking at their tissue, and they are some sort of half synthetic robot and biological being with their tissue and organs, and they appear to be sentient. But that is why they're, you know, that is how they were able to travel, you know, great distances, and using all types of propulsion methods like anti-gravity and wormholes and string theory. And I know I'm chopping this up, but
Right.
that they
Saber.
were half robot and half actual living biological creature. Very, very bizarre things.
Okay. Did he call them half robots? Okay, so they're half robots. They use particular technology to get from one side of the universe to the other, from my understanding what he was talking about. So one thing that I understand about wormholes is like if you take a piece of paper like this, right? These are my notes right here. But if you take a piece of paper and you're on one side of the universe and you want to get to the other side of the universe, you create a wormhole, right? So it's kind of like bending a paper. So instead of traveling the entire universe from one side to the other, you're going to do a wormhole that will basically teleport you more or less to that destination. So now you end up at the tip right here. When you were here, now you end up to that area, and there you are, right? That's from my understanding of what wormholes more or less do. So, I mean, traveling through that, if they've mastered that type of travel, can they get through a wooden door, though? That's my question.
There's two of them at the door.
What?
They're gone.
Good. They couldn't get in. I hear they can't open doors.
They mastered space flight, but they can't get through a wooden door.
But hey, guys, tell me what you think. Do you think this whole alien thing is a full on existence? Are you a skeptic? Do you believe aliens are just demons in disguise? What is it? Like, there's so much stuff to talk about. Comment down below what your thoughts are. Like the fucking video, please, so we can get into the algorithm and have more conversation on this stuff, man. Anyways, this has been Project VO Pod. I'm your host, Jake Varr, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.